Okay, so a thriving team and good performance, all things we want as salon owners, and I'd like to just talk a wee bit about that today and give you some tips that can sort of cut through, because I think at times salons do have an emphasis one way or the other where the team is thriving and the salon owners maybe not getting their needs met as much, or the other way around, the salon owners kind of being dictatorial to about what they want, and the team aren't really sort of clicking and the vibe's not great. Maybe there's someone in the team that's being a bit destructive and undermining everyone else. So I'd like to just sort of put some ideas in place for you to look at your team culture, and how much time do you spend on that, and how do you go about working individually with everyone to make sure that their needs are represented within the team culture. Within the leadership model in our program of the Ascend Salon Method, we have the nurture, empower and delegate, and that's all about developing your leadership skills and nurturing and empowering your team and sort of making all the pieces come together. So I think, initially you need to really have a great vision yourself. You need to, sit there, spend some time writing it down and come up with what is important to you and what you want to have your salon and the direction you want it to go, and what you want it to look like, how you want it to feel. And it's just as important when you're developing a team culture that you go in with your team and do exactly the same process individually to begin with, and as a team together. Get everyone together, sit down and talk about the priorities that they have and the thing that's most important to them, because then you create a dynamic that is the team culture, and not just sort of something that you've written down, but something that everyone feels is important for them. You may find some of the team members have the same priorities, and you may have some have quite different ones, and it's all about sort of showing a sense of understanding of each other's important aspects and bringing that individually. And then there's a whole great method we have around giving and receiving feedback that's really based on what the culture is. It allows a whole framework for that to be super easy, but that's not the subject of today's discussion. I really wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about the culture and how you can work with your team members to find what is an important salon culture for you. So like I say, start with yours, get those written down, spend some time thinking about what your top 5 personal values are and your top 5 professional values, looking at things like integrity, if that's important to you, trust, loyalty, responsibility. There's lots of things. You can Google, actually there's a list of culture values things that you can Google, and it comes up with like 200 or 350 words, and it's quite a good thing to print out. This is what I've done with my team. We printed it out and let them have a look at it, and they decided which ones were important to them. It was really a very revealing exercise. So I did it for myself, and then I did it individually with all of the team members, and got them to fill it out and put it in each of their personnel files, so that I understood exactly what each person's main priority is when it comes to work, and also when it comes to life and within their own lives. And then we did an exercise together as a team where we went round and talked about the top 3 for each of us on a professional level. And that was really good because, in front of everyone sort of saw their differences and saw their similarities. And then as a team, and we discussed, why these things were important to us and what they looked like in our salon, what they looked like in a work day, why they were important to particular people, and that was really valuable. And then what we did is choose our top one. So everyone chose their top value and made it a priority. Some of the girls had the same one, and we made it, and then some had different, and so we all kind of got to explain it more in depth and added our own value and dimension to it, and that was really helpful. So after that we decided we wanted to create an artwork around what our values were on and have it out in our back room of our salon, and it becomes an entity almost on its own, and it sits there and we all look at that, and like I say, it becomes something that we are answerable to some degree, that we use as a framework for other work we do around culture and values. And it stands as something that is a joint feeling between all of us, trying to kind of get that word that helps you describe what it's become within our salon, because it is like a ground measure for us. It's a above the line and below the line set of rules and behaviours that we believe in, that we know are important to other people and important to ourselves. So it's created this real sense of connectivity between us. We understand now when we're talking about things what we mean by what is our salon culture and values, and when we're dealing with our customers, it's a measuring yard for that as well. So really valuable exercise to go through with your team, and it will change when you get a new team member. Go through it with them, revisit it, maybe even every 6 months, especially after the first time, so that you can have a real look and think, well, does this still really represent where we're going and what we want to do? And again, as a business owner, it's incredibly insightful and a great thing to do with your team, and you'll see the rewards.